Hi. Hey, sorry to bother you before the video starts. I just want to keep you informed on a charity started by the amazing D&D shorts. It's called PowerWordMeal. Um, you can support it by checking the link, maybe in the description, maybe popping up on your screen on the top right corner. I don't know. At least there will be a link on the screen. So yeah, if you have anything to spare that you can give to charity, please do so. If you can just talk about it, that would be nice as well. There is free stuff for anyone who gives. There is even a giveaway or a lottery system. But just give it a look. And yeah, and just to inform you, I'm not trying to surf on anyone's clout. It's just that it wouldn't be very knightly of me to not talk about the charity. So yeah, especially if the charity involves TTRPGs, which is basically what made me start this channel. So anyway, I'll stop babbling and just let you enjoy the video, and thank you if you give it a look. Have a nice day. Thank you so much. Hello, squires and casual viewers. I have a question. How do you start over? I mean, really? Like, do you just quit everything, then go somewhere else, far from your current location? Take a new name, get a job, build a new life? Because we've all seen someone do it, or even heard about them. But think about legendary adventurers who retired and opened a tavern. They went from slaying monsters to hearing about others slaying monsters. And most of the time, you don't even know who they were. To you, they're just a friendly bartender who listens to your misery or adventures, until one rude patron causes damage and they kick them out with ease. Or what about a different kind of tale? What about a villain who realized the wrong of their ways? Casually dropping everything, taking care of a herd of sheep lost in the middle of the Greenshire meadows. One day, a band of weary travelers stops by, asks for some water and directions, without knowing that they were talking to a former evil lord who has been reformed by life itself. To be honest, I don't know how to start over, but I do know where you can do that. The mighty city of Edorian. A place of tradition, mystery in its darkest corners, and prosperity for whoever is bold enough to take their chances. Before we start, yes, the world is called Elderia. This city is called Edorian. Pretty similar sounding, I understand, but widely different. And don't get me started with the continent of Valonqar and the city of Volcar, but I will assume that you are capable of following because...
I do not have time for your
Frank, there are children here. So, just to make sure, this is Elderia, this is Edorian. We good? Good. This city was founded in 1020 after the start of the era of the Pantheon, so roughly 500 years ago. Edorian is a large city of nearly 10,000 people. There is so much to say, I only have a few minutes, so let's talk about the most important parts and I'll let your imagination do the rest. Oh, I remember when I first set foot in this city. What hit me first was probably how pretty it is. Pretty in its simplicity. Two circles sharing a center, marked by a tall, elegant castle. The outer circle, conveniently called the Lower City, holds the heart of Edorian. It has most of its shops, taverns and houses, made of cob, and all manners of friendly places for newcomers. Whether you'd like to share a drink in the Scaly Fish with sailors back from the journeys on the seas, or maybe you want to buy potions from the Galerie, an apothecary owned by the most fascinating shop owner I've seen. A 20-year-old goblin woman called Vroth, unable to read or write, but mighty good at mixing potions and ointments. Friendly reminder, 20-year-old for a goblin is pretty old. We're talking like almost 350 years old for a dwarf or 80 to 90 for a human. This species ages rapidly, but they live intensely. So, it's quite funny to see an intellectual among them. Because she may not be able to read or write, she can poison you with a flower you've never heard of, and people would think you died of natural causes. Yeah, that's dark. Back to the Lower City. I think I should tell you about Grybeck's Forge for a minute. That dwarf, yeah, I know, a dwarf owning a forge, how cliché it is. But believe me, that one is pretty special, even for his kind. Grybeck is a middle-aged dwarf with the thickest beard and hard-to-understand accent. He's a master craftsman. His people are all about making functional items. A sword that cuts, an axe that chops, shears that could make any sheep feel naked after a single cut. Efficiency is at the heart of the dwarvish culture. But Grybeck, he wanted more. Useful, yes, but pretty too. See the rune on my belt buckle? He did it. Apparently it means protection in dwarvish. I hope it does. Oh god, what if it means pig? Anyway, Grybeck is all about making tools efficient and elegant. Which is ironic when you see his hammer. Might be the oldest, worst looking one I've seen, but he does wonders with it. If you toddle around the lower city, you might stumble upon one of the gates of the inner wall. There are 4 of them, 1 per cardinal point. They will allow you access to the upper city. And let me tell you, if the lower city is the heart, the upper is the soul. With all sorts of cultural places, religious and academic temples coexisting in harmony, preaching science, teaching faith. But my favorite place, the gardens, opened day and night. Always green, even during the harshest winter. I suspect magic is at play here. But you can walk through rows of the prettiest flowers, smell the most exotic scents, pace below archways of trees trimmed to make it look both mathematically artificial and yet so natural. One of my fondest memories was seeing a woman ask her spouse in marriage under a patio. The people around chilled in the most restrained yet warm way. I heard that their marriage was beautiful. Enough with the nostalgia. Edorian is ruled by the Lord, or Lady, depending on when you are, Regent. Currently, he is a human man named Dirkran K, a strong yet gentle person, wise not because he was taught about wisdom, but because he knows how to listen to the second ruling institution called the Grand Council. The council has 6 members, 5 of them elected by the people, a Traders Guild representative, one of the Merchant Guild's representative, a seat reserved for the Farmers Guild, and another one for the artisans. There is also a high-ranking member of one of the religious temples. That seat changes quite often to make sure that everyone's faith is listened to. And the last one is the general of the armies. These 7 people are deciding about the majority of Edorian's life, but there is an underbelly that should not be ignored. Let me introduce you to the Galerie des Mirages. The Galerie is a special group. Edorian being a very big city that meets and greets hundreds, maybe thousands of travelers every year, it has some issues like minor poverty, beggars, burglars, and con artists that will try to take money from you while their accomplice distracts you with a card trick. These people may be petty criminals and delinquents. They are not without a code or rulers either. The Galerie has 3 heads, the Duke, or the Duchess, being the caretaker and protector of the beggars. There is also the Bard. He's making sure that the street artists are not at each other's throats and respect each other's territories. And the last head is called the Hand. Yeah, the hand, please follow. Head of the burglars, thieves and urchins. The 3 of them, the Duke, the Hand and the Bard, rule with an iron fist. See, to the eyes of the Galerie des Mirages, big crimes like taking a life, ruining someone's reputation for free, or even hurting the helpless is unacceptable. But the rest is fair game. Watch your belongings, squires, and keep your eyes on your coins. But don't worry too much about them. They have a code, and it's a good one. The first rule of their code is pretty simple. A misdeed committed for profit is acceptable, but a gratuitous crime is punishable. The second rule is that it is forbidden to steal from happy people or musical instruments. Third rule is about beggars, because you see, begging must be done with respect for passerbys and discretion on the part of the beggar. The fourth code is any dispute between members of the gallery must be settled with civility and honor. And their final rule, which is quite major, is the interests of the gallery takes precedence over those of its members. Should you want to follow the code, the Galerie will provide you for when you are at your lowest. But break the rules, and it would be best for you to flee the city and never return. They actually tried to hire me once. They asked me to hunt down a burglar that stole a lute from a child. I'm not a mercenary, of course, so I refused the bounty. I still did it. Almost got my butt kicked, but, I wanted to prove myself. Anyway, this city is one of the best you can think of when it comes to a fresh start. With or without money, there will always be someone ready to give you a hand, lend you their ear, or offer you a new opportunity to be who you want to be without being defined by your past. I hope this glimpse of the city piqued your interest. Should you want to go there, stop by the jewelry box. It's a fine establishment on the lower city, where you can find good company and favors, should you know how to ask. It was the Knight from Elderia, from the streets of Edorian. Happy to serve.